Hey everyone, Josiah the Stickman here. As you all know, I'm the goofball that made that Would Mario beat Sonic the Hedgehog in a fight debunk video. I originally made it as I felt like Tyrecordslol did not give Mario a proper analysis and barely gave him any props, and he overall downplayed him. Combine that with his overall content on Sonic and Mario, and it felt like he was biased on Sonic's side. I decided to make a debunk video saying what I disagreed with and why, as well as saying some stuff stated in the Mario vs Sonic debate that I disagree with in general, and saying my overall take on the debate at the end of the video. But the debunk did in fact get a response from the creator, Tyrecordslol. I originally made my ending response to his response a reaction commentary video, but I think that didn't truly do my debunk or Mario the most justice, and I unfortunately still didn't agree with Ty's arguments. I admit I got some things incorrect or worded them poorly, so I plan to do better in this video, while also debunking Ty's points in his response. Before you watch, here are some disclaimers. 1. I mean no hate with this video. I still enjoyed Tyrecordslol's channel and content, as well as enjoying Sonic the Hedgehog. I actually stated this in the end of my original video, but I think both Mario and Sonic are goated. They also still like Tyrecordslol's other videos and find them pretty funny, but I guess all the angry Sonic fans were too busy writing their hate comments to keep watching. 2. I'm not trying to start a back and forth, I'm just giving a video version of my response to his response. And any further videos about this on Ty's end will not be responded to by me, as he'll be reaching at that point. 3. Don't go hating on Tyrecordslol or anyone in the comments of his or my video, regardless of some of them already hating on me over a debate. And 4. While XG did make their own video defending me, shout out and thanks to them, but I do want to add my own arguments in the mix. I'll link his video down below in the description and pinned comment. Credit to Tyrecordslol for making both videos originally, and it's a debunk time once again. Right off the bat, we start off with the character's high-end or best feats. Super Dimencio for Mario and Solaris for Sonic. Oh, and my bad for pronouncing Solaris instead of Solaris. But I'm inclined to believe Super Dimencio is superior, since he easily surpassed the Void by sending waves to suppress its power. The Void in Super Paper Mario is stated to be able to destroy all of existence, all worlds, and all dimensions. This means of Mario, not just Paper Mario, even though they're from the same verse and continuity. And the fact Super Dimencio scaled above the Void that easily proves he's stronger than the Mario verse, way stronger than Solaris regardless of his ambition, and base Mario can survive both him and the Void. And Bowser didn't mean let's jump him as in together, he meant let's defeat him. And even then, all of them can equally damage and survive hits from Super Dimencio. And switching between characters implies each is harming him individually instead of all at once. Bowser even has later dialogue showing he chooses to fight independently from his team, and Tippy stating the Pure Hearts gave them power was because their health was regenerated, and they didn't weaken Super Dimencio, they nullified his invulnerability so they had a chance to harm him. And Solaris was never a 3v3 situation. They state that Solaris is omnipresent, so he existed in all timelines but was never cloned across them, meaning they were damaging one entity across the timeline to the point where they could have his flame blown out or his consciousness destroyed. They actually did jump Solaris. And even then, Sonic is stated to have help as he couldn't beat Solaris without Super Form or the others in Super Forms. And all the events of Sonic 06 wrote itself out of canon, so it might not even count here. And lastly, just throwing this out here, timelines do not equal universes. It's just referring to the sequence of events that led up to the creation of the universe. And since it's the past, present, and future, they're all in the same verse. And don't bring up how Mario and Paper Mario are different, I'll get to that right now. Moving on, Ty states something very not true once again. That being Miyamoto's confirmation that every Mario is the same is an author fallacy and that there are still different Marios.
Now, in my original video, I said that every Mario isn't the same Mario, and he shows the creator saying that he is the same Mario in every game.
Also, your statement that the Mario from 64 isn't the same one in Galaxy is entirely, completely, and utterly wrong when the creator of Mario, Miyamoto, said this, or agreed to this question.
So there are multiple links, but is it always the same Mario?
一緒です。ミッキーと一緒。
This is what's called an author fallacy.
The argument for each Mario being different not only makes no sense since he's not specifying which one he's using for the debate, but it also stems off of unimportant gameplay mechanics that fit an in-game incentive but don't make the Marios different. That's an incorrect theory at best. Almost every single Mario in the games are the same one, and there's proof connecting them. King Wasp's return from Super Mario 64 to Super Mario Galaxy, meaning there was a return to be had, making him both the same King Womp and Mario in those games. The Star Spirits from Paper Mario 64 being Mario Party hosts in Mario Party 5, meaning they aren't just linked to a different world. Bowser Jr.'s logo from Mario Sunshine being used in Bowser's Fury before Mario gets sent to Lake Lapcat. All of the enemies and characters being the same ones, and there being zero confirmation that they take place in different canons. The only one that is different would be the one from Mario plus Rabbids, because the creator said it's more of an alternate world that's not connected to the mainline games, unless someone were to argue against that. Since one could argue that's an appeal to authority situation or an author fallacy, since there are references to the mainline or spin-off games in Mario plus Rabbids games. And Mario and Paper Mario are the same. Paper Jam didn't retcon it. Paper Jam has so many inconsistencies for Paper Mario to the point where he has no real connection to the Paper Mario of the Paper Mario games. And Paper Jam happened due to the world being summoned by a magic book, which never had confirmation to be how the games took place originally in Paper Mario. In actuality, the paper can be chalked up to an aesthetic or a form, which both have confirmation since Paper Mario stories could be stories illustrated with paper that normal Mario already went on, supported by the Thousand-Year Door having a book as the opening and being a story. And there has been some confirmation that Paper Mario is a form, but the former argument is more likely. And the Paper Mario from Paper Jam is most likely completely different from the Paper Mario from the Paper Mario games. And even then, the Star Spirits cameo better furthers my argument. And even then, Ty is coming out with a video about every Mario being the same, so even he knows his original argument was wrong. Moving on, Ty claims this. He would get strength overall. And Sonic's durability and endurance outside of withstanding the impact of how hard he hits isn't as great as Mario's. And by your logic, Mario's body withstands the force he would need to use to ground pound meteorites back at Grand Star Bowser in Mario Galaxy 2. But Sonic doesn't regularly use speed to force on shorter or non-boss enemies.
Am I missing something here? Sonic does usually use speed to force attacks on non-boss or smaller enemies.
I mean no disrespect with this, but you are definitely missing something here, dude. I originally meant it as in Sonic doesn't go and throw all of his speed into every attack. Sonic's spin dashes are smaller outbursts of his speed that won't be doing the most to harm Mario. Additionally, I want to clarify that Mario and Sonic wouldn't go all out on each other if they were to really fight in the beginning. If anything, Sonic would, ironically enough, underestimate Mario first. Also, Ty didn't prove Sonic's strength accomplishments being better, he just put text there. Also, what good are the speed to force attacks if Mario could do a little thing called dodging? And before you ask, yes, Mario can dodge Sonic's speed, trust me, I'll get to that later. Moving on, Ty calls me out about the lava argument being a joke and me bringing it up against him, and my apologies for discussing the lava argument, but I'd have to ask why he'd even include it in the shorts version and not include it in what he wouldn't count at the beginning of his original video in the first place. Also, it was more so directed toward those who used it unironically, and I could have clarified that, so my bad. Anyways, move on to something I'm about to debunk very hardly.
Why didn't he swim away? He had the chance. It's because they're not the same Mario. It's obvious. If not, did he get weaker?
That type of claim again makes me question if Ty is serious about claiming he's not biased, since Mario never got weaker. In the end of his original video, he showed Mario dying to a black hole in Mario Galaxy gameplay, so I disproved it. Then he brings up a different one that he didn't escape that was tearing apart the universe. Unlike the one in Party where he had time to get ready and he had a destination to go to, none of that was provided for the one at the end of Galaxy that was destroying the universe as indicated by the guides and the game. This is far greater than any black hole Sonic ever has faced. And Sonic didn't escape the Hyper Go-On energy black hole because it was too much for him to handle at the moment, yet when the same applies to Mario, he's gonna downplay him? Really? And I didn't mention the one in Shuffle because it's weak. It had no actual impact on anyone unlike all the other black holes I just mentioned. And Sonic being tired before trying to outrun the black hole in Sonic Colors proves his stamina isn't unlimited to others who bring that up. Later on, Ty argues this.
Changed about the galaxy, and that's what the story was telling you. The whole time you're getting the power stars so you can prevent the galaxy from collapsing.
While yes, they were purifying the galaxy, and one could argue it wasn't reset, Mario still tanked the initial impact of that supernova. Rosalina didn't save Bowser, and he tanked it since he was on top of where the black hole started, and you could scale Mario's durability to Bowser's given what they can both survive and walk off. Rosalina wasn't stated to shield Mario more than Peach, unless she wanted to talk with him, which would be somewhat reasonable, but he still tanked being sucked in immediately, unlike everything else. So it was a mix of his durability and him tanking being pulled apart from a universe-ending black hole in Mario Galaxy that makes this more impressive than Ty gives it credit for. I may have not known everything about the game, but did you address Mario properly, Ty? And for those who say the castle wasn't being pulled apart so the black hole was weak, not only is the black hole confirmed to be universal in-game and in official guides, but the castle contains power stars as said in the end of Super Mario 64, so it's likely more adorable than one would think. And if you don't believe what I just said, look at this clip right here.
Mario! The power of the stars is restored to the castle. And it's all thanks to you. Thank you, Mario.
Anyways, moving on to this. Mario doesn't need to stack power-ups when he can just cycle between them. And when are you gonna wake up and realize Mario could just give himself an OP power-up combo? Something like the Giga Cat Bell or the Red Star or the Golden Flower, and then he could make himself invincible with the Superstar or the Rainbow Star, and then clone himself with the Double Cherry so he can outnumber Sonic and not lose any of his power-ups. Now, a lot of you are probably saying, well, the time limit would just run out. But Mario has a remedy for that in the form of his Mario and Luigi RPG item, the Bottomless Gloves, which would let him endlessly reapply his power-up without physically taking it out.
So again, he's talking about comp Mario, he's not talking about one specific Mario. There's Marios from different dimensions, and it's just not gonna work.
He didn't even debunk my power-ups point. He just reused his incorrect comp Mario argument that even he's coming out with a video indirectly claiming that it's wrong, so, you know. Also, Mario has an inventory to store his power-ups. All of the power-ups I originally mentioned in the debunk appear in the mainline games and can stack over each other. And Mario would apply the power-up before Sonic could have gotten to him if he had an opening or got one from his inventory or Bottomless Gloves item. Ty then states this about Sonic being able to make a black hole.
The violet void wisp that Sonic uses in Sonic Colors. It stated to warp space and time, and you know what else warps space and time? A black hole. If Super Sonic is massively stronger than this, do you think Super Sonic can do a black hole fast enough to make one?
While Super Sonic is stronger and faster than the black hole wisp, Sonic doesn't have that wisp's abilities just because he's stronger than it, and he's still never been shown to make a black hole. That's an assumption. And even then, the black hole wisp is incredibly weak when you look at it, and nowhere near on par with real ones. And even then, Super Sonic could never make a black hole with the same impact as the one at the end of Mario Galaxy. Ty's really gonna make some silly claim like that and then quote-unquote clown on me with his shorts version video? Very cool of him! I'm joking, of course. Anywho, moving on once again.
Dark Gaia's energy to rip the Chaos Emeralds out of Sonic. If you played the storyline, you would know that Dark Gaia's powers are a direct weakness to Sonic's. He represents a force of darkness and negativity that opposes Sonic's innate power and positivity. Dark Gaia is awakened and its powers is harnessed by Dr. Eggman. It emits a corrupting influence that affects Sonic and diminishes his abilities. Dark Gaia is a malevolent creature that embodies the destructive energy and seeks to bring chaos and darkness to the world. Why do you think Sonic turned into a werehog?
I was unaware of the emeralds being drained by Dark Gaia, so I appreciate him for enlightening me, but this shows they can still be drained or harmed and are not fully invulnerable. And even then, Super Sonic can be hit out of the form with a hard enough hit, as shown in Sonic and Knuckles 3 and the Frontiers cutscenes where the Titans shoot lasers to hit him out of super form and separate the Chaos Emeralds. And Mario's hacks can allow him to rid of the emeralds. As to quote a wise someone I know, Mario has many ways to counter Chaos Emeralds hacks. If Sonic sends him to the sun, that really wouldn't do much since he can fight in 3 suns, and with the 1-up gloves and Gumshoe socks, he can keep getting lives. And Mario can use the cutout ability to make a cut in the dimension he got sent to and get out of it. Chaos Emeralds have had their energy and power drained out before, and Mario with paint manipulation can drain the Chaos Emerald's life and color away, destroying their concept. Thoryu, Plunder Chest, Snag Bag, Lakutu, Leech, Mega Fly Guy, and Fly Guy Ticket can just steal the Chaos Emeralds and any of Sonic's arsenal to give to Mario in the right opportunity. And Mario kept the Star Spirit's power in the ending of Paper Mario 64, and he can call upon the help of them and summon them, and the Star Spirits grant all wishes whenever the situation gets too dire, granting Mario absolute wish manipulation so he can wish away the Chaos Emeralds if they don't have wish manipulation resistance. So Chaos Emeralds aren't too crazy against Mario unless Sonic transformed with them. And before you ask, the Star Spirits weren't called upon by Mario in future games because he either didn't need them, the situation didn't call for it, he was never in that much danger, or someone or something was already gonna save him. Moving on to this.
Time traveling is Sonic's talent and ability. There's even this one, and when you translate the kanji, it translates to time travel through the present, past, and future. Sonic has finally surpassed the speed of sound and even crossed the time barrier. We also know that this is Sonic's ability because the developer that came up with this in the game talks about his ability.
As Sonic starts running and gains momentum, lights and sparks fly, and he's taken to a different time period. I tried to show that in this piece here.
With enough of his momentum and speed, sparks and lights fly, and he's taken to a certain point in time.
Now to this, I would say Sonic doesn't regularly go around time traveling with his speed alone. Otherwise, he would literally never lose in his games. He can still be caught off guard in many instances, like Zombom's cutscene in Sonic Lost World, or the Sonic Forces beatdown from his other villains. But this isn't to say Mario can't be caught off guard as well, as shown in Mario Odyssey. Ty then claims classic and modern Sonic are the same.
I don't know where this is coming from, but modern Sonic and classic Sonic are the same being. Classic Sonic is younger Sonic, stated in Sonic Racing. They are now from a different dimension, but this is because of the events that transpired during Sonic Generations.
But I disagree. Sonic Generations and Forces retcon classic Sonic being the same entity as modern Sonic by claiming him to be an alternate dimension version of Sonic. And the Sonic Team Racing profile states it's a younger version of Sonic, but not the same Sonic, just an alternate aged version. And lastly, Ty claims this about what I said about Wonder Flowers.
You don't have any way to prove that, as the game hasn't even came out yet. You actually do not have any context of it, nor do we know if he can control it.
And I would like to say my bad about bringing them up. At the moment, they have shown to manipulate reality and could overwhelm an enemy if Mario were to obtain one, but they likely won't match the Chaos Emeralds exactly. I should have brought up the Power Stars or something else similar, so another my bad on my part. Ty then states that Infinite is stronger than Solaris and Sonic can tank and damage him.
At the time of Sonic Forces, Infinite was stated to be Sonic's strongest foe, stronger than Solaris. Eggman even stated that the Phantom Ruby he had was better than the Master Emerald, and Sonic was able to keep up with him, tank a lot of his blows, damage him with a little help, but he didn't need the Chaos Emeralds.
But I heavily disagree, as Infinite and the Phantom Ruby aren't anything special since Tails says this in Sonic Forces.
Whew. So, this is where the database is. Hold on a sec, while I access the data from this computer. Okay, failed battle plans, robot designs. Wow, he's got like 10 terabytes of selfies. So where does he keep the... Found it! Virtual reality weapon, the Phantom Ruby. A weapon that takes control of people's visual and depth perception to feed false information to the brain, creating a new reality for them. Like a dream so real, if you bump yourself in it, your sleeping self will bruise? It's hard to believe. Eggman experimented with lots of prototypes, and then incorporated the final version into Infinite. If I'm reading this data correctly, then there might be a weakness. This is huge! Let's get this information back to the others.
Yup, you just heard that. This means that anything the Ruby can make or accomplish are mere illusions to the characters' minds. Infinite holding no space in a later scene is just him influencing the illusions. Infinite being stronger than Sonic's previous villains is just a hyperbolic marketing hype statement that has nothing to prove it's actually valid, like Bowser saying he had an IQ of 9,800, for example. Infinite's best solid feat is making a sun to destroy the Earth, which would be planet or star level and put him above Perfect Chaos and possibly Dark Gaia, but I'm not too sure on that. Eggman saying he doesn't need to bother with the Master Emerald shows it's better for his plans, but not that it's stronger. Even if we say it is, it's all just illusions. Infinite hasn't done a dang thing to put him on Time Eater's level, let alone Solaris. And even then, Sonic needed the rookie's help to boost out of null space and beat Infinite. Sonic 1,000,000,000% needed the power of friendship in others. Sonic Forces makes it painfully obvious Infinite is not that strong. He's only base Sonic's strongest enemy, probably not even that. Sorry about that, just getting it out there. And to address something real quick, the Phantom Ruby and the places it makes aren't really real, but supposedly if they are real dimensions, Mario would have higher feats than shaking dimensions, since that's something the Ruby is stated to be able to do in guides. Next, Ty claims Mario's speed is inconsistent, or MFTL plus speed Mario is inconsistent. Moves at.
Sonic has a plethora of statements saying that he surpassed the sound, time, and light barrier, and when you look over Mario games, you see little to no statements about him being faster than the speed of light or anything near that. Then when you look over at their feats and things that they're shown to do, Mario doesn't have amazing speed feats, especially compared to Sonic, and if you're arguing Mario's faster than the speed of light or anything above that, he's godly inconsistent, especially if you're arguing every Mario is the same Mario.
But to this, I say Mario doesn't need to move light speed all the time to get the job done. And he never fully debunked my points on Mario having light speed reaction speed, or reaction speed similar to Sonic's running speed. Also, his argument in the Mario's being different over speed is wrong because speed varies on the game and incentive, but that wouldn't make them different Marios. Now to address me to saying Mario dodging Sonic, Mario kept up with or can be scaled to the Millennium Star speed in Mario Party 3, which can be calculated to move quadrillions of times faster than light. Mario regularly dodges and jumps on cannonballs, which can move at the speed of sound, and lightning, which is around light speed, and they are very slow in his perspective, but accurately speedy in cutscenes outside of his perspective, giving Mario a quick perception of time. Mario can also react to being sent out of launch stars since he knows how to prepare to land and pilot Starship Mario, which takes them from galaxy to galaxy massively faster than light. And since he's been declared captain by Luba and the ship has a steering wheel, he's reacting to what's upcoming and can turn the ship, which would count to reaction speed and wouldn't make it just a level select. And lastly, Mario is fast enough to dodge the Z-Keeper, which has speed fast enough to open time rifts, which would count to reaction speed since he's dodging it. I can definitely agree that Mario wouldn't be able to keep up with Sonic on foot, but Mario could react to Sonic's attacks. And it'd be hard, but not impossible for him to get physical hits on Sonic, since Mario's arm can move fast enough to pitch a baseball faster than 999 miles per hour in Super Mario Sluggers, or fast enough to overload the speed gun. And his arms are also strong enough to help him escape black holes by swimming away from them, as I've said before. Ty then claims this.
Just because someone doesn't have access to or shown to have access to something like a form or an ability doesn't mean you can't use that in a death battle. Sonic having a sword that one time, which we know is canon because he mentions it in Sonic Generations,
no stranger than rescuing genies in magic books or saving aliens in an interstellar amusement park,
can be brought up in a death battle. Is Hypersonic canon? A lot of people try to say Sonic 3 isn't canon. Well, I'm here to set the record straight, they are.
Now, I do agree Sonic and Knuckles 3 is canon, but not Hypersonic. He's only ever shown up for Classic Sonic as a bonus feature that has the requirements, aka the Super Emeralds, currently and canonically residing in another dimension. There's been zero creator confirmation that Hyper is still canon and holds significance in Sonic's lore and verse. Ty then goes on to claim these things.
Sonic is stronger and outscales the strongest version of Mario in AP, speed, durability, and hacks, and abilities. It's not looking good for Mario. And to say Mario is completely invincible while in these forms in his games because he never shown to take damage is a no limits fallacy. A no limits fallacy is when someone states that because something has not demonstrated any limits or certain limits, then it has none. Sonic just has way too many advantages. He can freeze time, rewind it. Automatic flight, which is way faster than running. Invincibility, reality warping. Immeasurable speed, which is speed that is uncomprehendable. Wishing power as—
Now, despite what some may assume or what some may think given my content, I can still agree that Sonic is quite powerful, but not to the point where he can contend with Mario's most powerful versions, like the very amped up Toon Force Manga Mario, or Pure Hearts Mario, who could steal his invincibility. The superstar having a no limits fallacy is reasonable, and external things like Mario's soul could potentially still be harmed even with the invincibility power-ups equipped. But they're still immune to physical damage, and Mario has hacks to counter Sonic's hacks that could work around the invincibility power-ups. Mario also has wishing thanks to the star spirits that could happen should he lose the fight, something Game Sonic doesn't regularly have, unlike Archie and movie Super Sonic. And Mario can either do, counter, or fight against a lot if not all of what Ty listed for Sonic. Mario can move when time is frozen in Super Mario 64's tick-tock clock, and has the retry clock to rewind time and a stopwatch to free time should he be overwhelmed. Mario can fly with the Cape Feather, any Tanuki suit or Raccoon Leaf, and the Red Star to name a few. And the Pure Hearts and Wish Granting can remove invincibility, and he has his own invincibility power-ups, and Sonic has been canonically hit out of or harmed out of those forms, as I've said before. Mario can fight those who can warp reality like Dreamy Bowser, and Mario may have some reality warping experience or hacks in his upcoming game. And Mario can fight and react to those who have immeasurable or infinite levels of speed, like the aforementioned Z-Keeper from Mario and Luigi Dream Team, which, as I've said, can tear and move through time rifts. And the Z-Keeper complemented Mario's speed. And they already brought up how Mario has his own wishing power and tools to counter Sonic's hacks once again. Additionally, Sonic needs multiple users for time traveling, and if we're giving him access, Mario can time travel too, like in Mario's Time Machine, or being the Pipe Man to help his baby self in Yoshi's Island. This isn't to say both can casually time travel on the regular, but Mario has had his moments as well, so we gotta give him access as Sonic has his access. And in the comments, people told me that Sonic used the fake Chaos Emerald on his own in Sonic Adventure 2, but that's exactly that, a fake emerald that isn't the same as the real deal Sonic does carry around. And Mario has time resistance hacks and can move and alter time, as shown in the paint rift/areas in Mario Sunshine anyway. And lastly, Ty says he isn't biased.
I'm not biased. I love Mario. Like I said in my original video, I love both of the games. I think Mario games are way better than Sonic's. But again, I don't think every Mario is the same Mario.
Now, I didn't mean to say he's biased as in he doesn't like Mario's games or character, but I mean it as in he disregards anything or any feats impressive for him due to his comp Mario argument, and has never shown he thinks he's powerful in basically any regards. In fact, he never addressed that not even planetary claim in one of his TikToks.
This is Mario Galaxy's black hole. This is our black hole. These are Mario's planets. This is our planet. Mario was getting smoked either way. He's not even planetary level. So it's literally going to be Sonic versus Goku and Vegeta.
Which is very debunkable since he said Mario's planets are small, even though the planet at the end of Galaxy and the hub world planet in Odyssey are reasonably sized. What he showed are planetoids the game acknowledges as not real planets. He also claims his black holes are small, but didn't acclaim for the one that can destroy the universe. The ones that are minor or small black holes are gameplay mechanic black holes. And he also talks smack about Mario's power-ups even though the bottomless gloves, inventories, and level times being gameplay mechanics all destroy those arguments. But if his arguments stem from Versus Battle Wiki, then I can see why he downplayed Mario. Defending Mario from downplay was the main goal of my original debunk, and even though I could have done it better with some more detail or checked over my stuff some more, I still think a lot of my points are valid. The sentiment that Mario is bad for scaling is just an excuse to downplay him. He has Cosmic and Universal at the minimum, not counting Cosmology feats, and characters don't need a Dragon Ball styled fight to be considered strong. His verse does have consistencies in a canon, but since his stories are on the simpler side, people just want to make up stuff to make him sound weak. After all, not every character has to use their maximum capabilities or stats in a given situation. But hey, at the end of the day, even though I think Mario's strength arsenal and stats give him a high diff win against Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic is still a powerful and respectable guy himself. And it's not impossible for him to win against Mario given he has the right circumstances. But Mario's best feats always being in base form and canonically without the use of power-ups or super forms is my main reason on why he already has the advantage in a battle against Sonic. Though I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't think several characters would absolutely fold Mario like clean laundry and hospitalize him if we don't or do count Cosmology, like Sora from Kingdom Hearts, Shulk from Xenoblade, Ghost Rider, Wally West, and many more. SCP. And in all honesty, the fight would never happen. Goats don't fight, both are powerful, and they would probably tie in a friendly spar if they really fought. No death battle petty reason to kill each other garbage either. Also, shoutouts to those who helped me, like WallXG, NRPG64, Cypher Excalibur Sonic Edits, the Rainbow Mario Man, Normal, Tyler of Chaos, and basically everyone in the Mario Discord servers I'm in and people who defend Mario on YouTube, Discord, and basically everywhere. And thanks to those who defended me in the debate and from hate, whether Sonic fans called me hateful things or said I sounded nerdy. Though not all of the Sonic fans are Battle Force, there are reasonable and likable ones that I know. And I am also now done with making full videos on debates. I'm not going to do any more power scaling or debate videos unless I really feel the need to or really in the mood to. I'll still work on versus edits and community posts about them, but I'm going back to animations and my old content for real this time. I'll release them whenever I feel like it. Right now I'm on episode 7 of my animated series that I plan to heavily improve and release previews of. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. It took me a while to put this together. And remember, it's okay to disagree with me as long as you're not rude or toxic about it. See you all next time. Have a good day. Josiah the Stickman, signing out. Peace.